Our next amazing speaker tonight is Jean Walters. Jean is a St. Louis-based teacher of self-empowerment principles. She has been in the field of personal growth for over 35 years and has studied and taught metaphysics and universal law extensively and applies these principles to every area of her life. As a transformational coach, she helps people break through personal blocks to achieve success in relationships, career, health, and spirituality. Augmenting counseling, she's provided over 35,000 psychic readings for people seeking insight and growth all over the world. Walter's syndicated radio show, Positive Moments, was heard in 110 national markets, and she has been a regular host on Transformation Radio, broadcast by the Success Talk Internet channel. She has written weekly and monthly columns for major publications in St. Louis, including The Game of Life, Mind Matters, and Yes, You Can. Her books include Set Yourself Free, Live the Life You Were Meant to Live, Be Outrageous, Do the Impossible Others Have, You Can Too, and Dreams and the Symbology of Life, which has a 5-star rating on Amazon.com. Walters has lectured and designed and taught classes for numerous organizations, universities, and businesses. She is currently in private practice in the Westport area of St. Louis. Please help me welcome to the stage, Jean Walters.
Thank you. Thank you. Today, I'm going to teach you how to manage your emotions. And the reason we want to do that is because we want peace. And the only way we can actually have peace is if we learn to deal with our emotions in a positive way. So there's a quote, the world is 10% what you experience and 90% how you respond to it. And that's Dorothy Nedemeyer. She's right on, as we all know, because it's really important to learn how to take control. Because we are faced with stressful situations every day of our life, whether it's traffic or our children crying or whatever. When we don't deal with these things, stress takes us down, it ruins our health, and it also can destroy joy in your life. So the little principle that I'm going to give you today has to do with how to take control when stressful situations show up in your life. First of all, we have to learn how to adapt. And it's really important because we're going to have business meetings and traffic, and we're going to have people being late, showing up, and restaurants that are not bringing our food on time. And so what we have to do is learn how to rebalance. And that means that when we build up a lot of stress, our tendency is to wait until we go on vacation, or once a week we take a walk in the woods or something. What we want to do is learn how to rebalance in a moment's notice. And that means that we have to learn how to remember a time in our life where we were really peaceful. Just some suggestions might be a time where you held a baby, or you petted a puppy, or maybe you walked in the forest, or perhaps you were sitting on the beach and watching the waves coming in, and at that moment you were so serene. Or possibly there was a time when you shifted your attitude about something and you noticed that the whole situation changed as a result of that. So those are the moments we're seeking, so that there's a time when you can sort of photograph in your mind and go back to that moment at a moment's notice. For me, it's the light. I've seen the light since I was a child, and so it's a peaceful place for me to go. I can always go back to that and feel it right here. And I'm suggesting that you probably all have that, where you can feel that moment right here and just revert to it at a moment's notice. So this is really about efficiency, because the more we're able to adapt to life and learn how to manage things better emotionally, we'll be able to be much more efficient in everything that we do. So the first thing you want to do is become aware. Wake up to the fact that there's a lot of stress going on, or there's a situation happening, or someone's upset, or someone's angry. And the second you notice that, your reaction will be to step back. And that means not so much physically stepping back, although you might use that as a way to trigger yourself, but it means stepping back emotionally, mentally, step back. That means become non-reactive. Become a listener and an observer. Notice what's going on. As you step back, you're detaching, and that's when you can move quickly from your head to your heart. Why do you want to do that, moving from your head to your heart? Because your head is the thinker, it's the opinion maker, it's the part of you that is related to the ego. It wants to be right. It has a lot of judgments. And when we move ourselves to our heart, we change our energy immediately. We change our energy to a softer, more kind, more nurturing energy. The heart is love. So as we move from our head to our heart, we completely change our energy, and as a result of that, we change our ability to respond to the situation differently. So from here we go, awareness, stepping back, and then going to the heart, finding that moment where we are always peaceful. If you're sitting at the beach watching the waves come in, there's a feeling that goes with that, and that's what you're capturing at that moment. When you do that, when you are capturing that feeling, you're in a state of peace. And for that moment, you're so connected to your heart that your intuition comes to the fore, and then you know how to respond. So it might be that you need to speak words, and it might be that you don't need to do anything. It might be that you're just adding energy of a positive nature to the situation. So let's think about all the different ways you can use this technique. First, traffic. Secondly, with your family. Third, with your loved ones, your wife or spouse or husband. And in business meetings, and at the restaurant. And so you get the idea. There's beaucoup ways, so many ways that you can use this technique. What you have to do is to develop the discipline. Develop the discipline on a daily basis to take this into your life. So this is something that will serve you continuously for the rest of your life, because at this point, are you going to choose health? Are you going to choose peace? Or are you going to stay with the masses and be reactive? Right now, we got a lot of reaction going on in our world. Let's be part of that force, that God force, if you will, that steps back and goes, I'm going to be in peace. Thank you.